Sins of a Solar Empire 2. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Battle for galactic dominance in this real-time 4X strategy game with unrivaled scale. You will explore, expand, exploit and exterminate through military force, diplomacy, trade, culture, influence and other underhanded tactics. Guys, I have 64 hours in Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion. What a great game. What a great game that was, with fantastic mod support as well. I remember the Star Wars mod that I had for it. Really good fun. This Sins of a Solar Empire 2, I believe it came out on Epix first, but it's now on Steam, and also available on Green Man Gaming for £31.57. Links in the description. Support the channel. So I got a key for this over the weekend, and I've been playing it all day today. Unfortunately, because of Gamescom coming up, I've had to stop playing right in the middle of a game that's freaking awesome. I'm really enjoying this game, but I have to get this review out tonight because I'm busy all day tomorrow. And I have to say, guys, because the first one came out, what was it, 15 years ago? 30? I can't even remember when it came out, but I know I haven't played it for easily 10 years, and so it was difficult to get into this. I'd forgot how to play. Despite 64 hours in it. So I went through all the tutorials, which were fantastic, really, really good. That took us a good while to get through them. And then I watched a couple of tips and tricks videos, some really good ones. And then I decided to get stuck in and have a game. And what a great game I'm having. What a great game. It's just 1v1, but there's loads and loads of maps in this, up to 10 players in some of the huge maps. It also has multiplayer as well. It's just got everything really, because you can set up the games the way you want with the resources the way you want. You can turn off various things that you may not like, so you can customize everything, which is really, really neat. Now the game itself, I don't need to explain it. It's been around for a while, this game, but basically it's a 4X space game, but I think it's more real-time strategy focused than 4X. So, you know, if you compare it to the likes of Stellaris, for example, Stellaris is more 4X-y. This is more RTS-y, even though it is a 4X game. Essentially, you have to grab planets, you colonize planets, and you mine the crap out of the resources that the planet has. You have three main resources. You have credits, and you have two sets of crystals. Well, there's actually four, because you then have the exotics, which is a new thing that they've added in 2. There's a lot of new things added, including a new engine, which is really, really nice. But I'll come to the changes in a sec. I just want to outline how you play the game first. Every time you nab a planet, you can do a lot of things to that planet. You can build structures in orbit, loads of different structures, through military means or civilian means. Civilian focuses mainly on gaining wealth and gaining it faster. Military is obviously stands for itself. It's big ass spaceships. And on the planet's surface, you can also build a lot of different things to help you. But a lot of the stuff that you build buffs your production of resources. That's the name of the game. And also helps with trade, which again helps you with your resources. It's all about the resources. Resources mean you can build huge fleets. And my goodness, guys, you can build huge fleets in this game. Massive fleets. You have huge fleet battles. That's what is so good about this game. And it runs great. I mean, I'm running this on a 2080 with like huge space battles. And it's just awesome. I mean, I do get a couple of stutters now and then, but nothing to impede my enjoyment of the game, which is just class considering my system is quite old now. Despite not playing the first one for such a long time, I instantly loved the new features of Sins 2. The way that you can just build a fleet and just have new ships go straight to where they should and join the fleet that they should, just by a simple click, is just fantastic. The quality of life features that they've added to this game is great. Normally when you get a sequel, it's shite. Not always. We have had exceptions, of course, like Half-Life, but a lot of games, usually the sequel sucks. This isn't. What they've done here is they've got the best stuff out of Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion, and they've said, right, we're keeping that, but we're going to fix all the other issues, and they've made it great. You now have, for example, orbiting planets. Now, what that means is, and you can press a button to see a prediction of how it's going to be over the next hour of gameplay, which is really neat. Now, what this means is the space lanes that link each planet are the only way that you can send your spaceships from one planet to another. You have to go up the space lane. Now, as the planets orbit, them lanes will rotate and on some planets sever. So that lane is no longer available. So if you've got spaceships over on that other, they're going to get stranded and have to go maybe a long way around or wait for it to rotate back. Very interesting for gameplay. There's also been a lot added to ship components. Planet buildings has been overhauled completely. And the capital ships now have individually rotating turrets as well, which is awesome. You have the exotic resources, which I mentioned earlier, and a very advanced minor faction system, which wasn't in the first one. I mean, we did have minor factions. The pirates, for example, you could set pirates on each other, which was really fun in the first one. I mean, the minor AI are fun, but the main crux of this is your enemy, your AI opponents that you set up at the beginning of the game. They'll build huge bases, they'll build big fleets, and they'll come after your ass and they will try to destroy everything that you've got. And you have to be careful because there is so much strategy involved in the maps because of the different layouts of how you can get from one place to another, that you have to really be careful when you're plotting courses. Because, for example, for what I did, I had my two main fleets quite a long way from my home base, and I was feeding them resources of new ships, reinforcements, because I didn't have a good foothold in this new system. And I was getting a trickle of reinforcements all the time coming from my home base, which was fantastic. Just at the click of a button as well, by the way. Just select which fleet, press the button on how many ships you want and what kind of ships, and there's tons of different ships to research. And they'll just start trickling over. And what the enemy AI did, it sent quite a half decent sized fleet to cut off my reinforcements. And they just kind of camped on this star. It was a dead asteroid star. It was of no value to anybody. And as my ships were trickling through, he was just attacking them. So I had to send the attack forces in to take out his fleet. It was very cheeky. Very, very cheeky. There's tons and tons to research. Like tons and tons. Different tiered researchers that help you get more credits, more metal, more crystals, more exotics, and better spaceships. You unlock a load of spaceships and a lot of features for these spaceships and capital ships. And features for the capital ships as well. There's tons and tons to research, and they all cost money to research, so you have to have a good income coming in. And that's how you play the game. You balance your economy with your military, and then you dominate the map. And it's so much damn fun doing it. It has great sound effects, great visuals. The only thing is, I can never control the bloody camera properly in these games. It does kind of go all over the place. I'm not the best at controlling these cameras, but it doesn't impede my enjoyment of the game. Apart from the camera, the only other thing that really didn't annoy me that much was just trying to get me ships to all warp at the same time. In the tutorial it said, gather your ships and then right click on your destination and they'll all go together. They just don't. They just go off in dribs and drabs, and I couldn't find a key bind for that, so I'm assuming you can't group your ships up and have them all jump at the same time. But again, it didn't ruin the game for me at all. In fact, I would go as far as to say that this is the best 4X space strategy game that you can buy now. It's that good.